Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds. Pixar! Robots and bastards! Everyone! Robots and bastards! Show them comes
Our theme song, Tom. Our theme song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our poorly recorded theme song.
We're back. We're back.
We have returned. Like the movies and time and the tide.
It feels like it's been so long. Hi. Hey.
I think it has. I think it's been months
Maybe.
since we last discussed Cop Rock.
Yeah. Welcome to All Bards Are Bastards, folks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the hosts, David Bell.
I'm a second host, Tom Ryman.
And big shout out to our producer Matt Smith,
mm-hmm.
who is the one making us watch all of Cop Rock, or should I say, allowing us,
opening a window of opportunity, Dave.
Yeah, really like
throwing open the doors of perception.
Opening our eyes to the magic of Cop Rock.
Yeah.
My goodness.
You know how at the end of the Doctor Strange where the third eye explodes out of his head? That's that's the experience of being exposed to Cop Rock.
Matt Smith is our third eye.
Yep. It's like, oh wow, I
God.
can see the universe now, like really see it.
Really see it.
Like when Will Smith went on TV and said he had an equation that explained everything in the universe, like I see it now. I can see that equation.
Did he share that equation?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, that's pretty selfish of him.
It is.
Honestly,
it truly is. Yeah.
So if people aren't aware, Cop Rock is a show that lasted maybe half a season.
11 episodes? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In, I want to say...
1990.
1990, yes. It is a musical, a cop procedural musical. Actually, it's not a procedural. Doesn't that imply like it's like... every new episode is a different case.
There are procedural elements to it, and it's less a procedural than like Law and Order.
Yeah, imagine The Wire, but they sing.
It's closer to like The Wire and NYPD Blue, and it's from Stephen Bochco, the creator of NYPD Blue and Hill Street Blues.
Right.
So
like, imagine our surprise.
Yeah, it is that level of drama and seriousness randomly interjected every 10 minutes or so with a musical number.
Yeah, there's 5 songs per episode, I've noticed. Go back and watch the first episode of us covering it if you want to see us convey our shock of what this was. Because I don't think either of us knew what we were expecting.
Yeah, it's Cop Rock has... the infamy, the reputation of being one of the biggest turds in the history of television. So when you hear about it and when you see the clips of it shared on like I Love the 90s or whatever, variety or clip show you're watching where it typically gets referenced, it really makes it seem like Cop Rock was this weird, irreverent, kind of fun and silly show, like musical show about cops. But it is... It is gritty as fuck. It is. Yeah. It is as gritty as The Shield. It truly is.
It's not as much propaganda as you would expect. For a musical about cops.
Yeah.
It is more of like an observation on cop shows, like a meta show. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, it's still fucking baffling.
Right.
There are scenes that are still fucking baffling, usually involving Ronnie Cox.
I was about to say Ronnie Cox is like the hat atop the cowboy hat on top of a hat in this show. He is God damn it, this show is baffling for so many reasons. So many reasons. Because it's not even just what we described. Like what we described, like a gritty cop drama that happens to have musical numbers. It's also insane. On top of that, it has characters like Ronnie Cox, who has a shooting gallery in his office. He's the chief of police.
Yes.
We talked about all of this last episode, so if you haven't listened to that. But God,
so we're
this show, Dave.
We're into it now. We're episodes 3 and 4.
We're into the meat,
and it's still not.
We've passed the bun. We're into the patty, Dave.
Yeah, we are, and the patty is just as confusing and off-putting.
Yeah.
We started with episode 3 labeled "Happy Mudder's Day," Mudders, which I think is a reference to mud fighting.
I guess.
Because there's mud wrestling in this. I don't know.
I mean, it's also
it
doesn't the. I can't now. We're covering 2 episodes, so I can't remember.
The baby stuff doesn't happen in this episode.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask. So it truly is just referencing the mud.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, if they had the mud wrestling and the babies
and the mother stuff, then I'd be like, oh, there it is. But no, it's just the mud. Okay,
no, completely unhinged.
Yeah,
it begins with Ronnie Cox in his office, and we get right. I also noticed that the pre-credits teaser always has a song now, so it starts with a song. It starts with Ronnie Cox playing guitar in his office.
Ronnie Cox,
which I just noticed has cowboy paintings and cactuses.
I think they added them.
Okay,
so after the pilot episode, Ronnie Cox had a shooting gallery in his office. So he did. He wore. There was a scene where he wore a 6-shooter on his belt. Had this full-size robotic mannequin come out, and then he pulls his gun out and shoots at it. So we already know he's got a little bit of a cowboy fantasy, and is also completely unhinged. But in this episode, they've completely southwesterned his office, like the waiting area of a Chili's.
Yes.
And he starts playing cowboy songs on his guitar in the middle of a brutally misogynist meltdown.
Yes.
About the state of the world and how women are in charge.
No, you're mixing it. There's that.
Oh, that's
that
later? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's when he whips himself.
Which
we'll get to.
Yeah.
No, So I'm wondering if his office will slowly more and more turn into a Western. If they're just going to keep adding
props. It's just
Westworld,
yeah.
Yeah. No, this is when he talks about gunfighters. It's the idea of why do we
crush our gunfighters? That's right.
Yeah. Because it's about they're going to take down the cop who shot the suspect in custody. And he knows they're going to kind of pull the trigger on this, and he's lamenting that cops can't be cowboys anymore. And the music video is him riding a horse into a poor neighborhood, and everybody looking at him weird while he's singing about being a fucking cowboy.
He's riding as best I can tell, he's riding a horse down Beverly Boulevard. He's in the middle of downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah. He's wearing, they didn't have a cowboy outfit, so he has a cowboy hat, but he's got just a regular red shirt with a little dumb badge on it.
Yeah.
And it's all mostly non-white people staring at him, just being what the fuck is he doing?
What is happening? Is a mass shooting about to happen?
Yeah, exactly. It's that's the first song. I ache to hear the doggies sing again is the name of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's a police chief lamenting that they can't just shoot minorities, I believe, and get away with it.
Yeah, he's really upset that he can't just shoot first and never ask questions.
And again,
what happened to the days when a cop could just do whatever he wanted? Well, those days are still here, Ronnie Cox.
Right. I got good news for you, Ronnie Cox.
30 years later.
Yeah. The show is aware of what it's doing. That's clear.
Yes.
It's supposed to be dark that this police chief is lamenting this idea.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be the through line, is this cop going down. The other through line is Mayor Crazy Hair wants to be Senator Crazy Hair.
Mm-hmm. And we finally learn why the actress is wearing so much like old makeup. Because
she is told by her like campaign people, quote, "If you're this physically repugnant, you'll never get the numbers you need." Mm-hmm. It's a scene where they sit this actress down, who even in the makeup is like a perfectly fine-looking person, and they're like, "You're a monster."
She looks like Margaret Thatcher. Like they've made her up to look like Margaret Thatcher, basically.
Yeah, and she's told like, "Yeah, you're hideous.
Yeah, you're a fucking troll. Yeah, you're a pile of shit.
Yeah,
with hairspray on it."
Exactly. It's just like, I wouldn't step on you if you were a bug.
What's funny is it's her advisors who are adult male twins, which just shouldn't be allowed.
Right. Pick one.
They're telling her basically they're like, "Listen, we got to be we have some stuff to share with you that is not pleasant. You know, this is the nature of the beast. We're doing polling. This is all about the public's perception of you, and that's what we have to deal with if you want to be a senator." And she tells him a few times, she's like, "Okay, guys, listen, I've been in politics my whole life. This is not my first rodeo. Just lay it on me. Be straight with me." And then they proceed to rattle off this litany of colorful phrases that their people they polled used to describe her ugliness. And then at the end of that, they themselves, this is coming from them, this is not an opinion they're reading, is when they say that if you're this physically repugnant.
Right.
So it's like, guys, like, maybe just, there's a difference between being frank, which would have just been like, we polled all these people and they all think you're ugly. They all think you're unattractive. So we have to deal with that.
But no, they're like,
but they like
so
really, but they like pile on like these really abusive phrases. That's like, guys, this is not necessary.
Like, also, when you mention they're twins, they're not just adult twins. They're adult twins that like do the thing like
they do the twin thing. Like, they dress alike.
They dress alike.
It's like they're trying to parent trap her in addition to forming her senator campaign, her senatorial campaign.
When kids do that, I get it. The parents probably dress them alike. When two adults like grow up as twins and decide to continue doing that, we have a problem.
Dave, after we've watched Dead Ringers, I will never trust adult twins.
Yeah, exactly.
I just won't.
Yeah, they're not to be trusted. There's also one of the most unstable strip clubs I've seen.
Oh. Yeah.
I wrote down some announcer quotes because there's an announcer.
The announcer who is dressed like Michael Moore.
Yes. He needs to be arrested. I don't know what for. Like, he's not like a sex criminal or anything.
Something.
It's just the things like, coming out of his mouth are nonsense.
Right. This would be like Tom Cruise from Minority Report should have come bursting in to arrest him for a crime he's about to commit. Like, that's the energy this guy has.
So he's setting up mud wrestling. He says, these next two girls are going to scorch your shorts. And then he says, and I had to rewind and write it down, he says it so quick, "You're going to be lining up to get a sniff of the tire tracks from a laundry truck carrying away their wash." And that is just... I don't know what that is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool, actually. That's some good writing. Nice job, MC.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really going all out.
Yeah.
He's giving them his best lines. So it's a mud wrestling club, and then it's who is this dude? Is it the cop?
Which one?
The dude who's at the club who like goes to the break room.
Oh, LaRusso. This is the crooked cop.
Okay.
The guy who just straight up murdered the dude in the previous episode.
His girlfriend works there.
He's their Vic Mackey.
Yes. His girlfriend works there. He goes in the back and he's just like really weird and jealous about how she works at mud wrestling.
He's a real shithead.
Yeah. She sings a song, her break room song that is I Hate Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's about how much she hates men in love and how much she hates herself. And she's just staring in the mirror, and there's the line like, but there's something about him. I can't live without him. I'm like a junkie, and he's my vice. And this guy is just he's not particularly good looking, and he acts like a total asshole.
He's just...
And it's one of those where it's like, oh, this is a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It
happens.
It's just,
oh, no.
It's if you were coming into this thinking that maybe LaRusso was going to be like a gray area kind of character, like they sometimes do in shows like this, where it's like, he really is going too far, but like he's trying to, like you can see like a conflict within him or something, or like he's complex. LaRusso is not complex. LaRusso is a evil shithead.
Spoilers, this episode near the end, he basically just almost sacrifices her life. Yeah. But before that, we get the cool cop on the beat with his grumpy partner.
Gaines and what's his name? Frank?
I think I'm never going to remember the name.
It's been so long since we watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But it's you guys know. You guys are probably just are listening to this in order. So yeah, it's the guy who sang the soulful eulogy in the beginning of episode 2. Him and his new partner Gaines, the guy who wears fingerless gloves for no reason and won't stop being just annoyingly cheerful.
Yeah, he wants the people to like him. They pull up next to a guy playing his radio too loud, and he goes, "Hey, what's on that box?" About his radio, like trying to be like, "Oh, cool song."
Well, I think it's less that he wants people to like him specifically, and he has this idea in his mind of what the police should be, and he's
he wants
correct.
People to like cops,
right? He wants them to be part of the community, which is the right idea. It's just, buddy.
Yeah, I think they're doing the thing where he's the young, idealistic cop.
He's the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid. Yeah. He's going to turn into LaRusso in like 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to be murdering suspects in custody.
Right. They go to a domestic disturbance call.
Oh, man.
And things do not go well. It's a couple, and it's like a little physical. You can't quite tell. They're just screaming mostly.
Yeah.
And then the dude grabs his gun.
He grabs the cop's gun. Yeah.
Yeah, which bad police work.
There's a reason there's a little like clasp on that.
A buckle.
There's a little buckle on that.
Yeah.
Keep that shit buckled, Gaines. What are you doing?
Yep. They talk him down. They get the gun back, and then they leave.
Yeah, they just leave.
Yeah, and I was like, that man is going to kill that woman. But instead, something even worse happens. He sings.
They both sing. It's a duet.
They both sing. Yes, it's the domestic disturbance. It's like a blues song.
Yeah.
I can't believe we could let out of hand, I think that's what it's written as. When I looked up the songs, and so it's them singing at each other. Well, the cops at first just sort of awkwardly watch.
They watch until like they watch through the first chorus, and then they're like, "All right, I think they're going to do another verse, so we should probably get out of here."
Yeah, exactly. They're like, "All right, this seems settled." And then they leave. It's not the only time this happens where like a criminal sings and everybody just awkwardly watches.
Just stands there and listens to it.
Yeah. And so this dude grabbed the cop's gun, and they're like, all right, well, you're singing, so it's fine. The main theme of this song it ends on "It ain't nobody's fault but our own." It's a domestic disturbance where they both agree, like, yeah, we're both pieces of shit. And the cops are like, all right, it's all settled here, and leave.
It's all settled.
I'm not sure. This is one of those times where I'm not sure if the show knows what it is. Where it's like, man, it really seems like they should do more here. But I can't tell if the show knows that or not.
I don't know. That is hard. This is a weird sequence. Because again, there's not like, it doesn't get physical. They're screaming at each other. It's just, it's an argument. And it's over something dumb. So I think that's like part of the point of the song.
Right.
But they don't make too big a deal about the fact that the two cops just leave. So it's like I understand why they would, because like the fact that Gaines got his gun taken away from them and they were in this very serious situation, like he's in deep shit for that. If they report that. So, but they don't dwell on that though. They don't mention that aspect of it. So I don't know how we're supposed to take this particular scene.
It almost feels like they're trying to show that every now and then cops get called on something that's like, oh, it was just no big deal.
But like it's something that they
big deal.
Shouldn't be involved in. It's hard to tell.
Well,
I mean, it becomes a big deal when he snatches the gun. It's like I feel like maybe this guy is gonna get out of control.
Right,
because he did get out of control.
It's one thing if a couple is just having a screaming match, and it's like, okay, well, you didn't need us for this, but then he shows the threat of physical violence, and then it's like, okay, well, now, yes, yes, we are here for a reason.
Over the fact that Gaines calls his wife sweetheart, he says, "Just tell me what happened, sweetheart," or basically something like that,
and that's enough for this man to grab a cop's gun.
Makes him take the gun. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I feel like maybe you should arrest this guy.
Yeah, I think in this case it's a problem.
Yeah, seems like he resorts to violence over minor things.
Right.
Or
seems like he grabbed a cop's gun.
Yeah, it seems like he stole your weapon and held you at gunpoint for calling his wife sweetheart.
Yeah. Then the mayor gets the plastic surgery, which also gets a song called Perfection.
Oh man, this guy if this show had been made 10 years later, 6 years later even, the plastic surgeon would have been played by Jack Black.
Yes. No, and also it's the 90s rules where it's like this man wouldn't be allowed to be in things anymore either.
Oh right,
he's that era where people can just look like normal people.
Right, he's a real John Carroll Lynch looking guy.
Yeah. And there's backup dancers, and he's just singing about, how he's going to do plastic surgery.
Singing about how fucking awesome he is at plastic surgery.
Yeah, with extremely dated music. A lot of this music. So a lot of this shoshow, I'm like, what genre is this song? I'm not sure.
This was an incandescently brief. Like it's so like a flash fire.
Yeah.
Trend in music where it was like, I'm trying to find the right way to describe it, but it's like up-tempo.
It feels like every song combined.
Yeah, it's like blues. It's like up-tempo blues it's like up-tempo jazz blues. I don't know how to describe it, but it's sort of like the Simpsons Sing the Blues. Do you remember that album?
No.
The Simpsons came out with a music album in 1990 called The Simpsons Sing the Blues, and it's what like Do the Bartman was on, and I'm in Deep Deep Trouble. It's like that genre, and I'm not sure I feel like it's like a type of R&B, but like really poppy, but also bluesy. It was this really very strange combination of sounds that was like popular for a very brief window in like 1990.
A lot of Huey Lewis sounding voices, a lot of like gravelly voices.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like taking 5 different types of sodas and mixing them.
Yeah, exactly.
And drinking it. Yeah, where it's like a little upsetting, but not like you can still drink it. You just like I'd rather have like just one of these, I guess. And then we get back to the mud wrestling club, which, by the way, the referee, King Mullet, just a fucking beautiful,
a real mulleted hero. Yeah,
yeah. So Bad Cop is trying to bust a guy for he's trying to buy cocaine off a guy. And is this an official sting?
It's part of. Are you talking about when the captain shows up and blows his cover?
Oh, no.
Because that happens first.
Okay.
And then he pushes a random guy into a drug deal using his girlfriend as a prop /bait/hostage.
He talks to this guy and he's like, if you sell me cocaine at a discount, you can have a go at my wife. And it's like, oh no.
Yeah, he basically dangles his wife in front of he recognizes
the guy. Isn't his wife? I think it's just his girlfriend.
Just his girlfriend.
It's his wife.
I believe so. She gives him a look later when he introduces her as his wife that suggests they are not married.
I don't think cops are allowed to involve their friends and significant others in bus.
What he does is like entrapment to the nth degree. Like,
yes.
So basically what happens is LaRusso is getting busted for murdering a guy. Like the captain has basically all but secured a testimony from LaRusso's partner to get him arrested for murder. So he's taking LaRusso off the street, so he walks in on LaRusso handling this drug sting that they'd been doing for a while. He's like sitting at a table with two other guys, and they're talking about like something like 5 kilos of coke, like a huge amount of cocaine. And the captain just walks up and says, time to knock it off, Vincent. They're like, Vincent? You said your name was Angela. He's like, yeah, I don't know what this guy's talking about. He doesn't recognize me. And then the captain goes, now, detective. So he just, the captain ruins, regardless how you feel about LaRusso as a guy, he's a scumbag, but like this is a serious drug sting that's been like months in the making, and he just fucking ruins it.
Yeah, he's just
so
like,
many hours.
This guy's a cop.
So many hours and money and just all the effort and resources that went into this sting, and the captain just fucking throws it out the window.
Yeah, which isn't to say that Bad Cop handles it well. Nobody is doing a good job. This mud wrestling place feels like it's owed something.
It turns men wild. Like they. So, like, LaRusso, like, out of spite, we see him in a couple of scenes later back in the mud wrestling club watching his girl... watching is a gentle term. Leering at his girlfriend. And she does... She has an interaction with this guy that he doesn't like. You know, like, she's a dancer at this club, so she, does a little dance for him, and then, is a little flirty with him and then walks off back to her mud wrestling, and he doesn't like that one bit, Dave.
Yes, she is just doing her job.
She is at work.
She is committing the crime of doing her job.
She is an exotic dancer, man. I don't know what what are you doing?
This is the relationship.
You understand what her job is. Yeah.
So he basically strong arms this guy into selling him cocaine.
He bullies this guy about. So it's unclear whether he's doing it to make an arrest. Even he does end up making arrests. Like he basically tells this guy, "If you get, I recognize you. You're a coke dealer." He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." It's like, "Well, I saw you like that lady there, right?" "Well, she's my wife. If you sell me some coke, you can, have a go at her." Excuse me.
Without consulting this lady at all.
Oh no. No, he doesn't run anything by her. So, like, after the club closes, they're on, like, a bridge, and he meets this guy, and his girlfriend doesn't understand what's going on. He's like, hey, I want you to meet this fucking guy. This is my wife. And she gives him this weird look, and she's like, okay, hi? Like, not sure what's going on. He's like, okay, well, you're going to go party with him, because I said so.
Yeah.
And then he gives the guy gives him coke, and then he pulls his gun on him. It's like, hey, you're under arrest. And then the guy pulls his gun and holds his girlfriend hostage.
Right. He gives him a hostage. He's like, here, go stand next to this guy I'm about to arrest.
And then he's like, I'll kill her. He's like, go ahead. It doesn't mean anything to me. And like, I mean, I guess he's bluffing, but like,
but it feels like he's just breaking up with her in a very elaborate way.
It feels like he's punishing her. Like that's the thing is he does make an arrest, but it's the way that, the previous scene where we see that he got really mad at her dancing for men in this club when it's literally her job. And then in this scene, he sees her dancing for this guy and gets mad about it and then forces this to happen. So there's like you feel like he's maybe more punishing her than he is actually trying to arrest a drug dealer.
Absolutely.
That's the kind of scumbag this guy is.
Yeah, he's awful. But then, he arrests him, he brings him in, and then we get our final song, Garbage In, Garbage Out.
Oof.
About, this is the worst song of the series so far. There's no rhyming, there's no tune, there's no beat to it. It's like beat poetry. Like
it's like a song from Cats.
Yeah, it kept breaking my brain because I was trying to find the song, and it's like multiple flavors mixed, but it also felt like multiple songs happening at the same time, where it was like it was just nonsense. It was badly shot. It's about the rotating door of jail, basically. It's about the idea of like, garbage in, garbage out. We process them, which is whatever. But like the song itself was just offensive to the ears.
Yeah. And offensive in content.
Yeah, that too.
Like,
it's bad all around.
Yeah.
And then that episode ends. That's the episode.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And sorry. Actually, sorry, that's not the episode. He gets arrested. The bad cop gets arrested.
Yeah, LaRusso gets arrested at the end.
And then it ends.
Then it ends, yeah.
And next we're on to episode 4, A 3-Corpse Meal, which sounds like a Batman episode title.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
today
you're more the expert than me.
A 3-corpse meal.
Yeah, doesn't that sound like I don't know. And that's referring to just a single scene we'll get to.
Or it kind of sounds like the title of a Dragnet episode, honestly.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And we're going to follow baby selling lady in this one.
Yeah, the waitress from Roadhouse.
Yeah. If you recall, she sold her baby at the end of one of the other episodes.
The pilot episode. Dave.
Yeah.
The pilot episode of Cop Rock ends with this woman selling her baby for $200.
Yeah, as she says out loud in this, I sold my baby, I sold it for $200, which is just like, Christ.
Man.
When you say it out loud, man.
That's like, I can't even buy a Nintendo for that much money.
Right. It's such a cheap baby. Of course, we learn.
Bargain baby.
It is. When she's going to be pissed when she learns that they sell the babies for $11,000.
Yeah, they sell the baby for like a fucking 1,000% markup.
Yeah. But it starts with the cop trial, setting bail. And then its first song, which is Him in Jail. The song
Can't
is
keep a good man down, right?
Yep. It's it's all about how he's hard and he'll survive prison. And he's doing that gravelly voice, and they're bringing him through prison. I really wanted him to get shanked in the middle of the song.
Yeah.
Just like, you can't keep...
Can't keep a good man. Just fucking...
Just stabbed in the fucking gut.
Rapidly stabbed 22 times.
Yeah, like it's fucking Walter White doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the first song. Then we get the theme. And then we get Baby Lady, who, goes to the lady cop and basically says, like, I'm going to kill myself if I don't get help. I sold my baby for drug money. I need help. And instead, basically this cop wants to help her.
Yeah.
And this is kind of, her arc is becoming, like, almost radicalized about the system, realizing the system doesn't help. Yeah, because what happens is... the chief and stuff is like, oh, we're going to go after this baby selling market, which good instinct. Not going to lie, good instinct.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't think, like, did you think the baby selling market was going to come into play in this show? Like, I thought that was like an aside plot of her selling her baby, and I'm kind of glad that they're like, listen, someone sold their baby. We're going to look into this.
No, I expected that to come back. Like, that's
okay.
That's a huge bomb to drop on people at the very end of your pilot episode.
Yeah. So, it is good that they brought it back. And so they sit her down, they get her information, and then they book her. And we, instead of doing rehab or something, which, like, the system is bad. And, again, the show knows it.
Mm-hmm. Every character is flawed. Even the ones that we mostly like the captain. Like, you mostly like the captain because he's out to get LaRusso. He doesn't like crooked cops.
Right.
But he's also got this flaw where he's like by the book.
Plays by the book.
He's by the book to a fault. He's lawful neutral, Dave, in D&D terms.
Exactly.
So like,
and what they're
he's like, his point of view is, well, we're not going to put her in rehab. She sold her baby. That's a serious felony. We're putting her in jail.
Right, and he's technically correct, but it's about how the system fails these people where if a cop goes by the book, we learn the book is wrong. That's what we're
because, like, if she goes to rehab, her infant is just going to end up in the system and probably screwed.
Well, no, that's the thing is if she doesn't even get to go to rehab, she goes to jail.
That's what I meant. She goes to prison. If she goes to prison,
that's what they point out is everything is worse.
Yeah, we have made everything worse.
Yeah. She sings a song which I believe is called Why Do They Let You Come So Close? It was hard because the listing of this was out of order. Mm-hmm. I recognized the other four.
That is the lyrics in this one, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And it's her, like, mad at cop line, which part of me is like, yeah, no shit.
Well, it's more about she's singing. It's brought on by feeling betrayed by Vicky, who's the lady cop. but it's overall just about how she like it seems like she just can't do anything but lose, and then like if you and like remarking on how it's like you are what's the lyric? It's like if it's like she's basically talking about how people don't view her as a human being.
Yeah, it's a good idea for a song.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's very easy to not want to help a person like her because she's not a person to you. Is basically what she's singing about.
It's a meaningful song that I also wanted her to get shanked during. It's just be funny. There's getting shanked.
It's also the whole song is another one of those. It's another example of where someone is just singing at another character, and they just stand there and have to listen. Yeah. For like 5 minutes, we're just standing here and listening to this person berate me in song.
Yeah. I can't imagine how awkward it is to film these scenes. Because they're just fucking standing there. So they drag her ass off. And then what are we going into? We're going. Well, I know the bad cop's in jail. He threatens to kill a guy's kids in front of him.
Well, in his defense, and this will probably be the only time I will say anything in LaRusso's defense, they corner him in the shower. It's 3 guys.
Yeah, no, he's doing the prison thing. He got cornered. He has to immediately act tough.
Well, yeah, we're learning. It's like he's like Rorschach or like the Punisher in prison, where it's like, yeah, he's a little ball of violence.
So now we get there's the coroner, or I don't know what his actual job is. He's forensic
a coroner
guy.
Medical examiner. Yeah.
Yeah, him who's married to the lady cop whose partner is trying to bone her. We get some stuff with them. The coroner went to his doctor, and the doctor says you have to lose weight. So he is on a diet, and he is bummed out, and I get it. And then the 2 cops are going undercover as parents trying to buy a baby.
Yeah, they use a Roadhouse waitress. They get her to tell them how she made contact, and she said, I went to this lawyer that I had heard. If you go to him, he's the kind of guy who can get you a baby. And so she went to him, and the lawyer was like, I don't know, Shama, that's horrible. You shouldn't come around asking about stuff like that. And then, like, an hour after meeting with him, she got a call from some mysterious dude named Glenn who was like, let's meet. And then that guy is the guy that sold her baby. Yeah.
Yeah, you want a baby? I got a baby. Meanwhile, the chief has to meet with the mayor, and that's when he says women on top. That's what the future holds.
This is where he has his like misogynistic meltdown at Bondi Curtis Hall. He's just sitting there absorbing this wave of like Ronnie Cox screaming into the sky about women being in charge of things.
Right. Then he proceeds to take a whip out of his desk, a leather whip. And
he has so many cowboy accessories just hidden in his office.
Well, okay, this isn't a cowboy whip, though. This is a sex whip. That is a black leather whip. That's a sex whip. It's leather, it's black. And then he takes it to the other room, and we just hear a whipping sound.
Yeah.
And him yelp. And then the scene ends.
Yep. Ronnie Cox.
It's like the most unhinged shit.
Yeah. He's like a Rubik's Cube of madness.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck was that?
What is this? What's happening? He's a cowboy hat full of spiders. All right.
Yeah, he is. If he explodes in spiders at the end of this series, no surprise.
The only surprise would be if the spiders aren't wearing cowboy hats.
Yes. And then we get to my favorite scene, which is the baby merchant. That's the name of the song.
Yep.
They meet at the park with the baby merchant, and this fucking guy, he's dressed like Bill Nye almost, although he doesn't have the bow tie.
He is wearing a blue version of Michael Jackson's jacket from Thriller.
Yes, he is. And this like little black tie. It's like, I don't know, he looks like a member of Devo or something. Where it's
on top of that, he is one of the guys with blue hands from Firefly.
Oh my fucking god!
Yep,
it's a fever dream. This is a nightmare.
And they're in a park. They're in a park surrounded by children.
Yep, and he does a song about how he's the baby merchant.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a sexy song. Like, not the content, obviously. The style.
Yeah.
It's like he's doing little dances and stuff, like enticing dances.
There's a reason he's dressed in a blue Michael Jackson jacket.
Yeah. And I want to know everything about this man. I need a show just about the baby merchant.
I think this song told us everything we need to know.
Yeah, you're right. He keeps saying, I'm your baby merchant. He says, Tots are us.
Tots are us.
And it's all weird and sexy. And it's just like, I feel deeply uncomfortable.
What are we doing?
And yet so intrigued.
Yeah. Like, honestly, they should have arrested him right there.
Yeah. Yeah, they really should have. I
feel like somewhere in there was a felony.
Right.
Somewhere in this performance.
Your Honor, he's singing a song called Baby Merchant.
Oh, yeah. Just immediately bangs the gavel. Get him out of here.
It is. Everybody go look up this sequence, this song. It is something else.
Oh, man.
Holy moly. I don't know if it's online. Maybe it's like illegal to exist.
I mean,
anymore.
You can't stream cop rock anywhere, at least not at the moment.
Yeah. Then we have the forensic guy on the diet. He goes to what appears to be a mob hit crime scene, which is probably me putting some like light racism on it because it's just an Italian restaurant with three old white guys. I mean, well, that's a mob hit.
Yeah, as soon as before they even walked inside, it's at a restaurant in the middle of the day, and when the coroner guy shows up, the cop tells him, "Yeah, it's 3 white men in their mid-50s to early 60s shot to death around a table." It's like, yeah, that's mob shit.
Yeah, you're describing a mob.
That's
hit.
mob shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And the gag, and I think this is legit fun, what they did.
This was funny, yeah.
Yeah, is he's describing the crime scene in great detail, these dead bodies. You know, and this is a common thing with people who are around dead bodies. Like, it's also a trope in movies,
yeah.
But I've seen it in real life, too, where he's, like, describing it, and he just starts casually eating the food on the table.
It's playing off the idea he's on this diet.
He's on a diet, yeah.
He hates his diet.
Yeah, but it's a combination of also, like, he's not squeamish. And so he's just, and the other cop just slowly gets more perplexed. And then
it is insane. It is insane to be eating the food off of this table. Like,
but it's a great narrative move. Like, this could be in a lot of shows.
Yeah, this
could have been in The Wire. Like, this is legit.
This is no different than McNulty crashing his car into a underpass while he's fucking hammered. It's the same.
This is something McNulty could have done.
It's
food at a crime scene.
It is a genuinely good like character beat. For a show like this. And again, I must repeat, you know, as much as we're highlighting how out of its mind some parts of the show is, I still think this is a pretty good show.
Yeah, no, it's well written. It has like this is
like I'm invested in the story.
Yeah. The thing that brings us over the top, which wouldn't be in The Wire, is that he then sits down and steals one of the napkin bibs from the corpse and starts just eating. Yeah,
he just starts eating this guy's muscles. We don't know how long those muscles have been there. Right. They're right in front of him, so they definitely have blood on them.
Yeah, and maybe some other pieces of human bodies. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's just chowing down, and that's very silly.
Also, the guy did you catch the guy he sits down next to, the dead guy? He got his penis blown off. Did you catch that?
Oh, they're right. That's what he says in the.
He got shot in the legs, and he got taken out like Michael Fassbender in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, he sure did.
All right, no, not Michael Fass. It's the other guy. I think I can't remember. Anyway, he got. The point is the guy clearly got shot underneath the table.
Yeah. Yeah, they might have all shot each other for all we know.
That's true, yeah.
There was probably one person. I'm guessing someone left that scene, but yeah. And so then they arrest Baby Seller.
They sure do. Well, it's after he comes to they go to a hotel room to meet him, Vicky and her fucking partner, and they have this tension between them. She is reciprocal in the attraction, but she's not. She's told him, "Listen, I'm married. This can't happen." But he's still pushing like a real dork. Right. And they have this moment where he's like, "Hey, I could tell you were pretending to be married. Isn't that fun?" Like he's being a real Mulder about it. He's like, well, we can take you away on vacation for a holiday. And she has this, pretty decently written little thing that she points out where she's like, well, look, like being married it's mostly not holidays. Like it's mostly.
Yeah, he says like, I'd love being married, 4th of July, all that. And she says, what would you do in between the holidays?
It's mostly that.
Yeah, exactly. Is. Yeah, that was a great. And I kind of love how the show's clearly rooting for her and her husband.
Yeah.
Like he's not the best looking guy.
He's probably my favorite character. Yeah.
He is. The actor's killing it. They keep giving him these like very relatable scenes.
He's got great songs.
He's got great songs. This eating the meal was really funny. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, he's great. They arrest the guy for selling the baby. The lawyer's like, you got nothing? And I'm like,
we got him selling us a baby.
Yeah. But then
he brought us a baby and we gave him cash for the baby.
Yeah. Then we're told there's a major syndicate of baby dealers.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? All right.
Okay, cop rock.
Yeah. So this is where we start getting disillusioned by the system because basically the baby merchant gets kind of let off easy. So we have the mom is in jail.
He gets
the baby's
immunity.
In a foster family. Yeah. So like that's where she's like, everybody, nothing good came out of this.
Yeah, the only person who went to prison was the mother.
Yeah, exactly. The desperate mother
who was desperate,
and who
unhoused,
did the right thing,
addicted to drugs, trying to kick a habit, and came to the police and was like, "Please help me get my kid back." She's the only one who goes to jail.
Right. Meanwhile, they arrest the parents who bought the baby under the charges of slavery. And it was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I really hope they double check to make sure that's the right couple because it was just the baby dealer like told them, and it's like, man, imagine knock on your door, you're under arrest for slavery. Mm-hmm. It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a charge I did not expect to hear.
Yeah. And I can see them looking on the books of like, what do you arrest a couple for buying a baby?
Human trafficking.
You'd think human trafficking.
I guess it just falls on. Maybe in California, there's like a big
like a slavery.
It just falls under like a slavery. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna pretend I know how the law works, but like it was jarring to hear them say you're under arrest for code 1881 slavery. I was like, the fuck.
Yeah, I'm just imagining a cop like looking at the books and going like, hey. Come over here. We can get him with slavery, you guys. And I'm like, no shit. All right. Like, because, there's no way they would have known that's what it would be. But like that's intense.
That hits your ears in a way that, like, Homicide doesn't even do.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, the neighbors are like, you're under arrest for homicide. And they're like, oh, wow, that's pretty serious. But if their neighbors overheard you're under arrest for slavery?
Hey, what? The cops come to the Johnson's house. Slavery? They were doing slavery?
Yeah, for some reason, like, I feel like you'd side-eye them way worse than if you heard, they're under arrest for suspicion of murder. You're like, oh, wow, that's crazy. They're under arrest for suspicion of slavery. What the fuck?
And then they're going to have to explain, like, it was light slavery. You don't understand.
It's only a little bit of slavery.
It was a little, because it is like, they bought a baby, and it's like, the baby, they're just going to take care of it. So, like, the definition of slavery, we don't tend to think about that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I guess that's technically slavery. You bought a person. Mm-hmm. But, like, Jesus Christ.
You can't do that.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Nobody buy babies.
That's pretty illegal.
Yeah. The bad cop got bailed out and does like some cop sex. He got
bailed out by this other attorney he has like two lawyers.
Right.
So he got bailed. Women really are into
They love him. Women
LaRusso.
are into him.
He's got a couple of women just wrapped around his finger. I don't get it.
In any other scenario, he'd be a henchman in a Schwarzenegger action.
Right. He looks like a heavy. He looks like the bad guy. He looks like the mini boss in a Schwarzenegger
Right. He's not
movie.
A pretty boy, and women are they're lining up. They're just throwing it at him.
To be clear, he's not ugly. It's just like he's not like Chris Hemsworth, and he's like this. Just like this stocky little ball of violence.
This woman spends $10,000 to bail him out and then wants to have sex with him. Yep. And it's like, my goodness.
Maybe she just digs his vibe. Like, he really has this like... I don't know.
Extreme scumbag vibe.
Yeah, really aggressive fucking scumbag vibe.
Right.
It's like,
then we get.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
No, it's a baffling. It's.
I mean, it's attraction is a mysterious fig.
Right, but then this guy, it's like, what the fuck?
But he seriously has no redeeming qualities. Like he's not. Yeah. He's never kind.
Right.
He's just this aggro scumbag all the time.
Right, and again, he's not ugly. He's just not. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth. He's not. It's like he's not worth it. So we get the mayor. Mm-hmm. Post surgery, Ronnie Cox shows up. We finally see her post surgery, which is just the actress now without the makeup on.
Just the actress, yeah.
But her hair got bigger.
Her hair is enormous, and it's 1990. So
I hope it gets bigger every scene.
Every scene, her hair just keeps growing. Yeah, and then it detaches from her body like the Thing.
Yeah, it becomes the main antagonist.
Yeah,
of the series. Ronnie Cox is instantly in love with her.
The hair of Los Angeles. Get it, Dave? Like the mayor?
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
It kind of works.
So Ronnie Cox immediately wants to fuck her. And I think, again, this is another case of, I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing here, which is they're talking about what it's like to be an older woman.
Yeah.
And like
a woman in power, too. In a position of power.
And I think that's the whole, like, you're hideous and like why it's so cartoonish.
Right, you're cold, you're rigid, like that. There's all that shit.
And the moment she's pretty, Ronnie Cox is in love with her. In love.
Yeah, and like humana love. Like he's like stumbling over his words. Like
yeah. But before we finish that arc, we get the Working Out song.
From the medical examiner.
Yeah, called No Pain, No Gain. I like this one only because, one, there's a dude who looks like a young Hulk Hogan there.
He looks, honestly, that dude, he looks like Steve Austin, like Stone Cold, when Stone Cold started out as stunning Steve Williams. And like superstar Steve Austin when he had like this long blonde hair. This dude looks a lot like Stone Cold.
Folks, we're talking 90s gym, so,
There are some beefcakes in this scene.
Yeah. They say you got to hump it to pump it in the song. There's ladies there too. They do beefcake ladies
beefcake
too.
Ladies, yeah.
And they're I gotta say,
beefcakes is an all-inclusive term.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. They're very encouraging.
Yeah,
they're like really encouraging to him, and it's actually a really positive gym. I like the line where he says, "The thought of cottage cheese is enough to make a grown man cry," which hard agree.
He's singing about how like he doesn't want to be in shape because he likes just eating whatever he wants and being happy. And then like the rejoinder is coming from the beefcakes who are like, "Nah, you got to work out and be buff and be fit."
Right.
We haven't pointed a character out that I'm shocked we haven't yet. We're introduced to another detective in this pair of episodes who's like helping them with the baby merchant investigation, and he's also the one who's vegetarian and is helping the medical examiner diet.
Okay.
And did you recognize him?
He looks like a lot of things. Who is he?
He's Emil from RoboCop.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm imagining him in RoboCop now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So we have like a RoboCop reunion on Cop Rocks. It's fucking him and Ronnie Cox.
Yeah, and he's a vegetarian, and he's fit, and they're giving him crap for it.
Yeah,
and he doesn't give a shit.
He's eating like hummus and stuff, and like celery and cauliflower during the day.
Yeah, and he's gonna help the cop. But yeah, he's throughout it. So we end on the Ronnie Cox date, and he kisses her, and she goes inside and she sings a song. Could this be a face that someone could love? To her reflection, showing that she seems like torn about what's happened, right?
Right.
Because like suddenly Ronnie Cox is rock hard for her, and no one gave her the time of day before this, and it's like kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then the episode ends.
Yep, it sure does. It ends with that song.
Yeah, I don't think this is the best episode. It felt like it felt like they were doing a lot of like plot maintenance. Yeah,
this is more connecting story points than like advancing them really. Well, no, it's still advancing some. But yeah, this one felt more like a mid-season episode where it's like you could probably skip this one.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't skip any, but
it's like it's a little bit like the Age of Ultron of the episodes we've watched, where it's like this one doesn't feel super essential because it's just sort of like we're incrementally moving the plot forward in this episode. So
right.
But
that said, I think it's the better song episode, which actually gets us to the conversation of what's the best song. Unless you have anything else you want to say about the overall plot.
No, I'm still fully fucking on board with the show, Dave.
Yeah,
like
me too.
I'm completely invested in the story and these characters. I wish there were 5 more seasons of Cop Rock.
Yeah.
I want Cop Rock to come back. Dave, if we get fuck off money, we should make Cop Rock come back.
Yep. We should. I want it to be like The Wire, where like every season is a different aspect of policing.
Yeah.
Like I want a
just
Jocks
do
episode.
The Wire with songs.
With singing, yeah. Yeah.
And that's kind of what this is already. So
yeah, that's pretty much what this is. It's wild.
But yeah, that's the last thing I had.
Okay. I already know. I don't have to think about what the best song is.
I have 2, so let me hear what your best song is.
Baby Merchant.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's
because it's the pure absurdity. It's not even a good song.
It's not bad.
Fun. Yeah.
It's not a banger, but it's not bad.
Yeah, but I do think the best song is probably Why Do They Let You Come So Close. I really liked that one, but Baby Merchant, man, like, come on, it's a song about being a baby merchant. It's wonderful.
That one and the Plastic Surgeon song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you titties. That is barely an exaggeration.
No, yeah, that is pretty much what the song is.
I think the best song, my favorite song is I Hate Love.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that is a solid song.
Like
sure.
The lyrics of that song are really, really good.
It's bleak.
And it's a character we're just now introducing. Like we're meeting this character in this scene.
Right.
And we get a brief moment of a brief scene of her relationship with LaRusso where like everything he says is cutting her down in some way.
Yeah.
It's like it's very gaslighty, it's very manipulative, so we kind of see it's an important scene for a lot of reasons. I mean, just even in terms of like LaRusso's character, this is kind of like the first strong indication that like, oh, he's not just a guy trying to do the right thing who lost his way. He is just fully a scumbag.
Right.
Like
that is true.
In all aspects of his life. And then the song is just a gut punch, and it's really well written, and it's a pretty good. It felt really authentic, and it was well performed.
Yeah.
It was like it reminded me of the medical examiner's first song in the pilot episode where he's singing about
like how his wife is hotter than him.
Yeah, like why he feels like she's settling for him and he has no idea why, and he's just so grateful that she is. And it's like this real kind of tragic, you know, in terms of that song. And this song, like I Hate Love, is definitely tragic.
Yeah.
I would say this one or the one, Why Do They Let You Get So Close was the other one where I was just like, oh, goddamn. Like,
yeah,
that's
that was
like
great performance too.
Yeah.
But I do like Ronnie Cox's song because has he done a song yet?
No. And
it's him as a cowboy. It's not my favorite style, but I like the point of the song. For sure. And it's just
It's a good. We haven't gotten much of what his character actually is yet. So that was like a good. That made, even though he's still like the most bonkers element of the show, hands down, that song did do a lot to explain why he behaves the way he does.
For sure, yeah.
I also really dug the Beefcake song, the Medical Examiners. That's just a fun song.
The No Pain, No Gain. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, that was the most relatable moment.
Yeah.
But yeah. And again, I really still Baby Merchant just because of how incredibly unhinged that whole sequence was.
His fucking cornflower blue Michael Jackson jacket.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Unbelievable. That was shocking.
Oh, man.
And I guess We're going to check in with this every episode, which is, and we sort of answered the question, the question is, does this show No Cops Suck?
Yeah.
I still believe yes.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple moments where I was like the domestic disturbance moment where I'm like, this feels like maybe it's a dated moment. But for the most part, it actually seems like this show is, I don't want to say progressive for its time, which is a weird thing to say. But like now they're doing the Mayor plastic surgery stuff where they're actually showing like what it's like to be a powerful woman.
Yeah.
Who can't be respected because of her looks. Like that's huge. That's like, wow. I didn't think they would like start making observations like that. That's wild.
I do think this is a thoughtful show. It definitely is very conscious of what it's doing. I still think that the addition of music is probably a piece of meta commentary, like we've said.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's still like, I still think this is a pretty, it's pretty progressive for 90.
Michael J. Fox saying, I guess you weren't ready for that yet, but your kids are going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we got here.
And it's not like he had already, like Bochco had kind of already done this with Hill Street Blues. So like that was kind of, I mentioned this in the previous episode, but that was sort of like the first show that showed cops as anything less than the good guys.
Yeah.
Or at least the first like big hit show to do that, big mainstream show.
Yeah. So
it's like, yeah, of course this guy's going to make that show.
Thank you, Cop Rock. As always.
Man, I'm so sad that we're only 7 more episodes, Dave.
Oh,
I want to multiply that number by 10.
I feel sad because I don't think we'll get a satisfying ending. I think it's just going to end.
It's just going to end.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure, yeah.
It's going to be like the finale of Alf, where he gets taken in by the government, and then they never made another season.
No, but they did make a TV movie.
Oh, good. Good. Well, that's what we need. We need this to be like Deadwood. Like this is Deadwood. This is our Deadwood.
Yeah, this is our Deadwood.
Where I want to see them make a movie. Bring them all back.
Yeah. 30 years later.
Cop Rock the movie. Oh, let's make it happen.
Ronnie Cox is like dust in a box now.
He's so I don't care. Just fucking do it. Do it. All right, that's all I got. That's it.
That's it. That is all I have to say about these 2 episodes of Cop Rock.
Yeah. Matt Smith, thank you so much for giving us this gift of Cop Rock. Many thanks. And if people are interested, this was through our Patreon, which is patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We have basically custom podcast tiers that people can do where they just tell us what kind of podcast they want. There's also custom We Just Watched. And just for $5 a month, you get access to a bunch of exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and Spiel Boys. We also watch movies every Friday night with our patrons. These are all things you can get on patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. Check it out.
Yeah, we also have a store. Head over to not TeePublic. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our TeePublic store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on T-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, all sorts of things. So check that out.
Yeah. I sang.
You did, Dave. You did it.
Did my own little Cop Rock. Yeah.
I'm going to do my own Cop Rock right here.
Yeah, we should. Musicals should be called Cop Rocks now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go to Broadway, see a Broadway Cop Rock.
Yeah. Sort of like how Xerox became the term for making a copy.
Exactly.
Let's Cop Rock this.
Cop Rock.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd. It's like, it's like a Victorian era Cop Rock.
Yeah. Oh, God. That's the world I want to live in now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Let's get Cop Rock movie. Let's change our vocabulary.
We have to be the change that we want to see, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And we're going to.
Mm-hmm. All right. Bye.
Later.